All right, for your 1 point perspective, we're going to start off with try to find any kind of lid. This is a coffee lid. You could do a bucket lid, any kind of container, and trace it in the middle of your paper. And now you want to find the very center of this circle. This is going to be where your 1 point perspective is. In the very center. And now you want to just almost like you're cutting up a pizza, a round pizza. You want the ruler to go through that middle perspective point and make your pizza have different slices. Do skinny slices, thick slices. So all your buildings in this perspective, 1 point perspective, will be of different sizes and shapes. Some maybe you want some tall, skinny tower. Maybe you want a wider piece. And those lines don't have to go all the way through, but you definitely want different size triangles in your circle so that your buildings are all different and interesting. Now I'm just going to go through and draw the roof on each building. So some of them are going to be really tall, some of them are going to be really short, and I'm just going to spin around the paper and try to keep that horizontal line of the roof of that building straight with the bottom of the building, like parallel lines, side by side lines. All right, now you just want to go through and erase your extra lines that you started off with in the middle, because that middle now is going to be all open sky, and your buildings are going to be as if you're laying on the ground and looking up at the sky with buildings around you. So your sky is going to be open, and you just want to erase the lines that are above the roof. And now you want to start adding detail on each building. Take your time with this. We want to add windows. Maybe we want to add another little section on top of the roof on some of them. Keep your lines nice and clear and clean and straight. And think about all the different kinds of designs and details. You can do windows, doors, lines. Some skyscrapers have kind of design elements all the way up the skyscraper where it's kind of like lines all the way up. So think about those kind of things. So just nice little rectangle, square windows, elements. Taking your time, not rushing. Maybe you can do stripes, turn it into kind of like a tower, a radio tower. You do stripes all the way down, horizontal stripes, and then maybe some vertical stripes through it. Maybe a lightning rod on top. So make them all different. All right, now that you have all your different line designs and shape designs on your buildings, you're going to take your black Sharpie or a black colored pencil and just very carefully, I'm taking my time here, I'm trying to stay on the line and making that line as clean as possible. And now I'm going to trace over all of my drawing with my bold black Sharpie or a black pen or a black colored pencil. Remember, take your time, slowly tracing over those pencil lines and make them nice and bold. And don't ever work against your hand. Keep your hand comfortable. Move the work around your hand instead of moving your hand around the work. That's going to keep you making clean lines. All right, now that I've got it all drawn out with my Sharpie, it looks pretty fresh. It looks pretty clean and nice. I'm going to go through and I'm going to use my eraser and just get rid of all of my pencil lines and clean it up really nicely. Now I want you to go through and let's get some bold black areas. Maybe outlines around windows, maybe blacken in some windows. So we have some nice bold areas and things that are sticking out. So you're going through, maybe you want the windows to be blackened, maybe you want some different design elements on the buildings to be highlighted in with black, around a doorway, around a window frame. Just adding more detail and some bold areas now. The diagonal lines here, they're broken diagonal lines, so it looks like these are windows, and there's kind of like light reflecting off of them. Need a little more contrast in this building, so I'm going to add some bold lines of black also. Now here I'm very carefully parallel lines, lines that are side by side, following around the edge of the circle to frame in my 1-point perspective cityscape. Very carefully going all the way around, keeping those lines parallel side by side. And just take your time. And if you mess up on this line, it doesn't matter because we're going to color it in and make it black. So if you do mess up, you can go back, make it even thicker, and color it in and make it a bold black line. So for this next step, use colored pencils, use crayons. Colored pencils probably be your best option. You're going to just, all I'm doing is I'm taking blue and I'm drawing in clouds, and then I'm just going to color in around those clouds that I drew. So now I'm coloring in the negative space behind the clouds, the sky around the clouds. I'm coloring that in blue. All right, can't wait to see your 1-point building cityscape 1-point perspective. You can email it to me, or you can put it in the last slide. Just slide it into the last slide, download it, upload it in the last slide of the Nearpod. Great job.